Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our series on project management. I want to thank everyone who has been following us on our series from the beginning of this project management series and thus far how we have been able to take ourselves through these sections. Also, more importantly, for those people who have subscribed to our channel, thank you so very much. And if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please kindly do that now so that you can get more information about the beautiful tips that we offer to you for free. So, very quickly today, we're going to be treating on a topic titled Project Charter. We're going to be treating on a topic titled Project Charter. So, what is a project charter? Why is project charter essential in executing any project? It is because a project charter is a document that authorizes you as the project manager to start the project. The project charter is a document that authorizes you as a project manager to start a project. As such, that the project charter is a document that the client and the project manager sits down together and ensures that every ingredient that would determine the success of the project is embedded in the project charter. In projects, for example, academic project, a project charter can also be known as an abstract in a project, as such that it gives you preferences on what will be achieved on the project. So, what are the attributes that are found in the project charter? Number one is the project title. That means the project must have a title, for example, building of a 5-bedroom bungalow, or to deliver a 4-bedroom terrace duplex. That means the project must have a title. Number two, the project must have a start date. The project must have a start. So today is 13th of December 2021. So if, for example, your project is starting today, your project must have a start date. And also, the project must have a finish date. The project must have a finish date. If you recall, when we talked about the constraints in project management, we talked about time. Time. As such, that a project is a temporary endeavor. So if you agree with me that a project is a temporary endeavor, that means the project must have a time frame, a start date, and the finish date. Also, that in the charter, the project must have the budget information. We must know what we are looking up to. Oh, that it will cost us 30 million to raise a 3-bedroom flat. It will cost us 30 million to raise a 4-bedroom flat. For example, you must have the budget information on your project. So, as far as the project manager has been able to beat the project into bit by bit. So from foundation to the DPC, it will cost XYZ amount. From DPC to the window level or lintel level, it will cost XYZ amount. That is the budget information. Also, that the project charter would also have the project manager. So in place, and that's me, Victor Olise, known as Olineovic Solution, a registered project and portfolio management company with the Corporate Affairs Commission. So the project manager must be identified on the project. So the project manager, for example, is Olineovic Solution, ably led by Victor Olise. Also, the project must have the project objectives. The charter must have the project objective. So the project manager will outline the objectives of the project, having taken much time with the project owner or the client. It is the project manager duty to draft out the objectives of the project, then present it to the client. The client vets the objectives and they come into a conclusion and say, okay, fine, these are the objectives that we expect to achieve on this project. As such, it will be a guideline to ensure that the project manager, the engineer, the team members, and the clients are on the same page. Also, that the project charter would have approach. What are the approaches that will be taken to ensure that this project is a success? Every project has its unique approach. And so, if you are building in a donut, for example, the approach that you will imbibe in erecting a structure in a donut is quite different from the approach you would go through in a dosalt. So, for example, we had a project in Edo Central a while ago, and nobody came to site to disturb us. Nobody came to site to disturb us. But guess what? Right here in Edo South, we've had series of issues whereby some young boys just walk into the site and seized all the materials, and then before you know, they tell you come and meet us in our office. And when you get to the office, it's under one tree. Very young guys, but probably because they are under an influence of some drugs, they just feel that this is our terrain. As such, that it is the project manager's duty to outline the approaches that will be used to executing the project. Also, in the project charter, the project manager would outline the roles and responsibilities of every stakeholders. The roles and responsibilities of every stakeholders. So the number one stakeholder is what? The client. The client has his roles and responsibility. So the client cannot just come to the site and because he thinks he's the owner of the project and then he just lords over everybody. No. Why? Because as a distinguished project manager, I, for one, I respect even to the least team member working on our site. As such, the client must identify his roles and his responsibility. The engineer has a role and responsibility on the site. The project team member has their roles and responsibility on the site. The project manager has his role and responsibility on the site. The project manager must identify the roles and responsibilities of every stakeholders working on the site. Don't forget, that on the project charter, we treated that the project must have a project title, the project charter must have a project title, must have a start date, must have a finish date, must have budget information, must have the project manager information, must have the project objectives, must have the approaches that would be used to executing the project, and also must identify the roles and responsibilities of various stakeholders working on this project. Very quickly, I'd like us to run through what project planning is all about. The main purpose of project planning is to guide execution. The main purpose of project planning is to guide execution. And as such, that in guiding execution, then that means that there are three distinct things that must be factored. Number one, the project manager must identify the what? The team contract. As such, if we have subcontractors, for example, the welding guys, the carpentering guys, the POP guys, the tiler guys, the project manager must identify the right measure in doing what? In bringing the right team members to awarding contracts to them. The project manager must identify the scope of the project, meaning there is a scope statement. The project manager must identify a scope statement. Also, the project manager must, as a matter of importance, identify the WBS, known as the work breakdown structure. So the project in 1 week, we're going to raise from foundation to DPC in 1 week. In 1 week, we are going to fill the foundation. In 3 days, we are going to floor the German floor. The project manager must identify the work breakdown structure. A project schedule in the form of Gantt chart with all dependencies and resources should, as a matter of fact, be factored in the project. So there's a software called the Gantt charts, mostly used by project managers. A project manager, an expert to understand better, must identify that this is the right tool to be used to prioritize the project that should be executed on the project. Thank you so very much for joining us on this median series on project management. God bless you. And please do well to contact us on 07063151558. I want to appreciate everyone who has been calling us, especially in diaspora. We've gotten a whole lot of calls, a whole lot of projects currently on ground outlined, and we are ready to execute this project for you. And if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button right now and notification to get more updates on our beautiful series. Thank you and God bless you.